Right there, folks. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you. I hope you're well. We move into day 5 over in the French Open. As always, we're going to touch on each and every one of these matches, see if there's anything we like on the side as we go along. Before we get started, like the video, get yourself subscribed to the channel. If you're not, I'd appreciate it if you did. Very close to that 1.3 now. A couple days we were touching on 1.2, and now look at that 1.3. We continue to grow each and every day. Get yourself involved. We'd love to have you. If you consider yourself a fan of the sport, we would very much appreciate your knowledge. But very well. First things first, let me know, how did we get on today? There was nothing from me personally. I just sat on the outrights, rather pleased with Moutet and Alcaraz. Kind of what I expected. Easy as you like. Let me know, did you win? Did you lose, or did you come close? Share the group, don't be shy. But now that's out the way, let's talk about today's games. First off, we've got Rocha, Mensik. This probably should be a lot quicker than the previous videos. There is a bunch of massive, and I mean enormous favourites today. Mensik being the first of many, coming in at 1.04. I think that just speaks volumes. I really do. He's a year younger than Rocha. Both of them are fairly young as well, as opposed to everyone else. Mensik's currently 19th in the world. Rocha's 200. There you go. There you go. If that doesn't tell you a small tale, I don't know what will. I do think Rocha's looked decent. He's on a 4-game winning streak, obviously, coming through qualifying. And then, look, this guy just went to war. Went to battle with Philly. Decent result, nonetheless. 5 sets is probably not what you need coming up against Mensik next time out. He looked decent against Alexander Muller too. Relatively close. You know, the sets were kind of close. 7-5 tiebreak, 7-5, 6-3. You know, sort of what we expected. Mensik's just too good in the end. I think he's just going to be too good in this one. I really do. He's been fairly decent on the clay. He did get beat by Yannick Hanfmann in his transition game, but look, I was a bit disappointed with that when it happened. I remember taking Mensik in that match, but in hindsight, they're allowed one. He just smoked everyone the week before getting that Masters title in Miami, so I lost to Hanfmann after that. It's alright, it's not too bad. Ethan Quinn, Ben Shelton, Bublik in Madrid, ran into Cerundolo, quarterfinals, took a set, ended up getting beat. Took out Gigante, Fabian Marizan in straight set, bumped into Hubie, took a set in Rome, and then got beaten in that one. And then here we are in the French Open. I don't know how deep he's going to go, but I'd be very, very shocked if he lost this one. 1.04, ridiculous odds. I don't know how you're going to take this. I'll just say it now, and it'll remain the same. The formula stands for the majority of these massive favourites. Big dogs, big spreads. If you want to take the dogs on the spreads and just hope they can win X amount of games, be my Christopher Guest. I don't think I'll be doing that, but 1.04, you're just not going to be taking that. But Mensik definitely gets this one done. I refuse to believe in it another. So we'll crack on to the demon. Alexander Bublik. I think the same could be said for this one. Head-to-heads 4-0 to the demon. He probably should be getting this one done. It's still early days, so we're probably still okay to assume he's good to go. Looked decent against Laslo Djere. That could have been a bit tougher, but he looked solid in that. Same with Bublik against Duckworth. Safe to say he's definitely picked it up quite a bit come clay season. There was no secret to us. He was in quite the fucking bad state, weren't he, regarding his form, starting the year off. Pretty much finished last year in the mud as well. Kind of carried on over into this season. Most definitely found what he's been looking for coming onto the clay. He's just won the Challenger title over in Turin prior to this. And then ended up getting beat by Gio, first round in Hamburg. Back to winning ways, first round French Open. Now, I do think it might prove to be just a little bit disrespectful with him being such a massive dog. I do think he has the potential to keep this one somewhat close. I mean, we all know if Bublik can save like he does, there tends to be enough 3 points within that for him to get himself a couple of games on the board. Maybe look at that spread. I am expecting Demon to win this one. It's not the pressure's not on yet. We'll wait to the round of 16 quarterfinals, providing he gets there, and we'll see how he deals with the pressure. But while it's early doors, Demon should be getting that done. Then we've got Munar and Artifice. Slightly better odds for this one. Artifice clocking in around 1.2. Still heavily favoured to get this one done. He's played them twice before and he's won both of them. Played last year in Germany on the clay. Very close game, 2-1 to Artifice, and then the time before that was 2022, so we won't bother. I thought both of these looked decent. Decent enough for the opponents that they were given in the first round. Munar, straight sets against Ugo Cobolli. How much weight that holds, I'm not so sure. And the same could be said for Artifice against Nicolas Jarry. He did drop the one set, but he just had too much for him on the day, as we predicted. I'll be going with Artifice in this one. I would. 1.2, it's a very steep, very short parlay piece, but you should be alright with that one. I'm expecting big things from Artifice this time out in the French Open. He's never really done much in this tournament, back-to-back first round exits to be precise. And same goes for Munar. He got to this point last year, ended up getting beat by Alex de Minaur. I think Artifice has just hit that next level in the past year. I really do. Munar's no joke. He's no joke. He's deceivingly good. He can creep up on you just when you least expect it. But considering he's most definitely a clay guy, he ain't been that good on the clay. He had a fairly decent run out in Rome. He was just scalping all the Americans, weren't he? He beat Thomas Barry as Zverev. I know he's not American, but he beat him first round. Absolutely annihilated Ben Shelton 6-2, 6-1 scalp. And then he faced Sebastian Korda 6-4, 6-2 in the third round. I'll be taking that scalp too. Before he ran into Casper Ruud, unfortunately. In the round of 16, he got beat by him, but we expected nothing less than that. You know, clay performances prior to that, 1-1 in Rio, first round exit Marrakesh, first round exit Monte Carlo, 1-1 in Barcelona. Beat by Batista Agut in Madrid, first round exit. Valentin Vachereau beat him, first round exit on the Challenger Tour. We then go through Rome, as we've just mentioned. And then since Rome, we've had a first round exit to Quinton Hallis, and then we've had a first round win to Ugo Cobolli. Very tough to get a read on. Seemed to have played better on the hard court than what he did on the clay, and I did not expect that from Munar. Artifice has just been game, man. He's just been so game all season, just back-to-back runs in these tournaments. Solid in the Masters. Like I said, I'll say it one last time, I'm expecting big things from Artifice this French Open. I don't think Munar will make it easy for him, because he doesn't really make it easy for anyone. But ultimately, I think Artifice should have a bit too much in the bag for Munar to be able to deal with. So we'll move on to Yuri Lehecka, Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. I like this one. I'm looking forward to this. This should be a cracker. Head to head. It's 2-0. 2-0 to Yuri Lehecka. These haven't played each other since 2023. What am I looking for? That was it. He's played them twice, beat them both times. Getting Yuri Lehecka as a dog here. You know what? Straight off the bat, I'll just say it. I quite like Yuri Lehecka. I've seen it before the odds, and I thought he was going to beat him. And then I seen he was an underdog, and I thought, what? I just think Yuri Lehecka is a better player than Davidovich Fokina. I do. You may agree, you may disagree, and that's alright, but if you were to ask me on the day who brings a better game, it's Yuri Lehecka. Let's not forget, before this little, this bad patch of form prior to the past couple of weeks, Yuri Lehecka was one of the best players on the tour. Ended up getting beat, and I don't know, he went into a little bit of a skid, just couldn't get a win. He was taking the first set in all these games, and then it was just crumbling down. Fairly decent in Hamburg, bit shaky first round against Bonagosho. Just annihilated Cerundolo, pulled off the upset there. Straight sets, and then he looked a bit crap against Echeverry, but maybe, just maybe, he was looking ahead to this, because we come up against Jordan Thompson and he's just fisted him, absolutely fisted him, 6-4, 6-2, 6-1. Now I will say, I would be remiss if I didn't say, Jordan Thompson, we are aware he's kind of struggled with injuries throughout the season, so, you know, I was going to say Jordan Thompson just got so much worse as that game got on, but maybe that's not that fair to say. But it is what it is. He didn't pull out. We know no one's pulling out in this tournament, but even still, rather decent performance from Lehecka, rather decent indeed. Davidovich Fokina, we expected him to get past his match against Pablo Lamas Ruiz, and rightly so. I mean, this guy's barely in the top 1,000, and he dropped a set to him. It's a weird one. It's a tough one with Davidovich Fokina. He surprised us all to start the season on the hard court. He was really good. Fantastic in Monte Carlo, let's not forget. But if you want my honest opinion, I feel like since that run in Monte Carlo, let's just say the potency of Davidovich Fokina seems to have tapered off quite some. That's just my opinion. Since he got beat by Alcaraz in Monte Carlo, he's beat Stan Wawrinka, Rublev, beat by Kachanov, beat Nuno Bosch, got beat by Zverev, although he took a set. And then here comes the one, Jesper de Jong. One of the worst performances. It's like top 3, definitely top 5 worst performances we've seen out of anyone so far this season. Fact, absolutely horrendous. Looked decent against Monfils. Couldn't beat Flavio Cobolli in Hamburg, but no one could really. And then, listen, like I say, we come into the French Open, he gets past Pablo Lamas Ruiz, he's barely even got a ranking anymore. So how much weight that holds, I'm not too sure. Parlay piece, 1.2, 1.25, depending. It's a little bit more, depending where you look. You're Lehecka just for the one set. There is no way, I'm not having it, there's no way Davidovich Fokina turns up here and beats Lehecka in straight sets. I refuse to believe it. I think Lehecka beats him. Look, whether I'm taking it or not, I haven't decided yet. So it's not gospel. So don't be fucking coming for me. Like, I've just told you it's about Lehecka because I haven't. But I would definitely, there's something within me that makes me lean more towards Lehecka in this one than Davidovich Fokina. If it's pinned, it's pinned. If it's not, it's not. If I'm doing a parlay or if I'm looking at a parlay, I will most likely be sticking Lehecka just for the one set on it. If I think he can win the whole game, he should be good for just the one. And like I said, if Lamas Ruiz is taking one off you, then why wouldn't Lehecka? Come on, it's not that bad of a shout, is it? Now speedrun time. Speedrun time, big favourites. Zverev and Jesper de Jong. Now before I just completely write this kid off and say Zverev because he's 1.04, he should be getting it done. He beat him last year in Hamburg quite convincingly too. I just want to say, how good was Jesper de Jong against Francesco Pesaro? He was crap. Well, he was crap at the start. I was very, very concerned for him. Discovered something, definitely pulled out an ace from the sleeve and pulled that one back. What a match, what a performance. One of the best performances we've had so far this Grand Slam. I'll give him that one. But it's a huge ask. It's a huge ask to get past Zverev. It really is. It sounds weird saying it, but it's a fact. It's so true. He got his revenge on laying a TN straight set. I think he beats Jesper de Jong too. If you're going to get yourself into that much of a mess against Francesco Pesaro, don't expect Zverev to be as forgiving. Nowhere near as forgiving. I don't even think he'll allow you the chance to come back. I don't. You can't give him a chance. You cannot allow Zverev a chance to punish you because that's exactly what he'll do. And that's exactly what I'm expecting to do. Be good if de Jong pulled off the upset, especially at that price, 13-1. Prices like that are always tempting, but you can't let prices sway you. a price is not a deal breaker, is it? Oh, that's a big dog, let's just bet that because of the price. No, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. But we'll crack on to Rublev and Adam Walton. I told you Adam Walton was going to beat Max Martira, didn't I say? How was Max Martira 1.2, 1.3 on the decimal? That is absolutely criminal. Whoever come up with those odds must have been smoking fucking crystal meth. You know, I mean, promote him. For our sake, promote that guy. Let him do all the odds. I mean, that was free money if you would have taken that. Close game, I'll admit. But the result stands for itself in the end. Is he going to get past Rublev? Probably not. Rublev is 1.02. And we know we can't trust him. You just can't trust him with your money. I will not be trusting him to cover a spread or do it in straight sets. Absolutely none of that. All I know is that he should definitely win this match. And if he can't, how does that look? How is things going to shape up for Andrei Rublev if he fails to win this match? I dread to think. He can't lose. He can't be getting beat by Adam Walton. I refuse to believe it. And the same goes for this one with Jannik Sinner and Richard Gasquet. 1.01. I repeat, 1.01. 1.01 for Jannik Sinner. Anything less, like if that was like, oh my god, if that was just a decimal point lower, they're basically just giving you your money back. Imagine betting on something. Imagine putting like £1,000 on something and you just get your money back if it wins. That's essentially what this is. How retarded is that? I mean, it just shows you how good Jannik Sinner is. It does. Not only that, it signifies where Richard Gasquet is currently at with his career at the moment. This is most definitely his last year. Last French Open last season. Crowd are going to be all for him, but unfortunately I do not think the crowd will be able to save you today against Jannik Sinner. Absolutely not. Unless the crowd want to get on the court and make it a fucking 5,000 v1. I don't know what's going to happen. Imagine if Sinner got beat here. What do you think it would have to take? I know it's not going to happen and we say anything's possible, but I do think this definitely borders amongst, like just upon the realm of impossible, if you'd ask me. 1.01's fucking crazy. I've never seen anything like that in my life. He definitely gets it done. How are you going to go about taking it if you're having a go is entirely up to you. So we'll move on to Flavio Cobolli, Matteo Arnaldi. Should be a good one. Has all the makings to be a rather decent game. Straight off the bat, I'm thinking the over 3.5 sets in this one should be a flyer. Head-to-head is 3-1 to Matteo Arnaldi, and he's won the last 3 meetings. All of them have been on the clay, not played each other since 2022. And I think Flavio Cobolli has made significant improvements since then. So is Matteo Arnaldi. Both of them fairly young, pretty much the same age, just a year apart, if that. I think Flavio Cobolli, it's no secret to us, he's more suited to the clay. He prefers the clay than anything else. Don't really know what Matteo Arnaldi prefers. He tends to be all-terrain. I think I've seen him do, I don't know, he's had good seasons on both. I think he started off as a bit of a clay player, then transitioned to the hardcore, found his feet there, and now he kind of just does his business no matter where he is. Solid player, good basics, good fundamentals. I mean this in a positive way. He's somewhat of a jack of all trades, master of none. I couldn't really pinpoint or pick out a specific part of Arnaldi's game where I'd say this is fantastic, this is pretty much better than anyone else's. He just does everything good enough. He can serve well, decent baseline game, what have you. We know what we're going to get when he turns up, but sometimes that's just not enough. Sometimes you need a little bit, what do the French call it, joie de vivre, something like that, if you will. I think Flavio Cobolli's definitely got a bit more of that in the bag, as opposed to his opponents. Just coming off that title in Hamburg, what a title it was. He looked rather convincing doing so. Couple of question marks surrounding the fitness coming into the French Open with the quick turnaround. And he looked decent against Misolic. Straight sets, probably as good as you were going to do against an opponent like that. 6-2, 6-1, 6-3, absolutely pummeled him, just pegged him into the dirt. I like him in this one too, 1.7. I think he's just a little bit more dynamic, probably a little bit more trustworthy on the clay than Matteo Arnaldi. And hey, look, the only thing putting you off this one would be the fatigue factor. The amount of games, is it going to set in? Because it inevitably does. It's just when. If you can get on the right side of this, if you can take Cobolli today at 1.7 and he's good to go, you're laughing all the way to the bank. I would lean more towards him, but like I said at the start, I think the over 3.5 is probably the way to look on this one. And then we've got a couple more and a handful of big favourites once again. So you've got Gabe Diallo and Talon Griekspoor. It's be a close one, this is a nightmare one to predict. You're getting Griekspoor around 1.6. More proven. He's more proven. Gabe Diallo, as we've seen over in Madrid, very tough to beat. Very tough to beat on his day. This guy is a giant, and it's very hard to dismantle a giant. Very strong, tough to deal with. Not many people you're going to come up against that are going to play you the way this guy plays you. Telling Griekspoor, we know what we're going to get. He's got it in him to grind pretty much anyone out on the day. He looked a bit dumb in that first set against Marcus Giron, done exactly what he needed to do, and was just banging winners in for the rest of the match. Came back 3-1, happy days. Very happy with that. Diallo, though, I mean, if Talon Griekspoor played good against Marcus Giron, Gabe Diallo, straight sets against none other than Francisco Cerundolo, 7-5, 6-3, 6-4. Say something about that. You didn't have that on your bingo card. If you say you did, you're a fucking liar. I've caught you out. But yeah, say something about it. I mean, fantastic. This is exactly what he was doing. Over in Madrid, and no one paid attention to it. He done it to Berg, he done it to Majorach, he done it to Norrie, he done it to Dimitrov, and he eventually ran into Lorenzo Musetti, but he put in a fantastic show in there as a dog in the majority of them. Pulling off that against Cerundolo. Cerundolo seems to be in a little bit of a slump, but I don't want to take too much away from Diallo in that one. This could go either way. There's no clear winner. No clear-cut winner in this one. 8-6 for Diallo. 10-6 for Griekspoor. You pay your money and you take your choice, as the status quo says. Yeah, you do what you will on that. I wish you the best of luck, and we will crack on. Speedrun resumed for the big favourites. Joao Fonseca, Pierre Hughes Herbert, Lemon Sherbert. 1.05 for Fonseca. He just wins. He just fucking wins this one, doesn't he? Feel bad for Hubie, man. Feel bad. Look, the results on paper, 6-2, 6-4, 6-2. He absolutely pummeled Hubert here catch, but didn't really expect much from Hubie in that one. You know, coming off that title as well, especially that final against Djokovic. He went all out in that one. Decent win nonetheless for Fonseca. It's just what you need. Herbert got past Benjamin Bonzi. 5 sets. 5 sets against Bonzi. I think this will probably be 1, 2, 3. Easy as that for Joao Fonseca. I don't think that French crowd is going to make much of a difference to him because there's just levels, and I think Fonseca is quite a few of them above the Frenchman in this one. So there's only one outcome. We'll touch on it in a second, but I'm praying for Jack Draper and Joao Fonseca 3rd round. It's possible, it may not happen, but it's very, very possible. We've seen it not that long ago. I hope we get it again. But yeah, Fonseca gets that one done. We'll move on to Corentin Moutet and Djokovic. You don't get rich betting against Djokovic. Head to head is 2-0 for Djokovic. Obviously 1.07. It's one of them. Now, I know I always say Moutet is a very good player. I just find him rather untrustworthy. It's hard to get a read on him. I just usually stay off these games. I don't bet on him, and I don't usually bet against him. So that's why I was saying, it's not impersonal. It's just you never know which version of Moutet is going to turn up. He never makes it easy. He's very tricky. Very tricky, so technical, probably one of the more technical players on the tour on the day, whether you'd want to admit it or not. He's been in decent form, fairly decent form coming into this, since Rome, had a decent showing in Rome, took a set off Jack Draper, ended up getting beat, and then he should beat Clement Tabor, straight set, easy win for him. Djokovic, obviously, like we mentioned, coming off that title in Geneva to Hubie in the final. And then he's carried it on in the French Open, straight set against Mackenzie McDonald. I expected nothing less from Djokovic in that one. I'm expecting him to get this one done too. Beat him last year in Rome 6-3, 6-1 on the clay. I think Djokovic has got this in the bag. I do. And this would be an upset. I do. Big spread, big dog, big spread. I don't know. I think it's very coverable. Like I said yesterday, I always say 99% of the time, big dogs, big spreads. You just take the dog on the points and you just pray for them to win so many games, but there is the odd exception. And I think Djokovic is most definitely one of them. So approach it with caution. If you're touching the points on that one, don't know what the total is going to be. I'm expecting just Djokovic to get it done. However he wants to go about it is entirely up to him. So we will crack on to Cam Norrie and Federico Gomez. Should we go with Cam Norrie? I'll just be going with Cam Norrie. The man who has just beat Medvedev like that. Definitely beats Federico Gomez. I would have thought anyway. Now, I don't think Cam Norrie should have won that game. I can't believe he won that match, man. Daniel Medvedev, bro, what the fuck did you do? What did you do, man? I've got a meme on my phone here. I've had it for a while, and it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. And it's Daniel Medvedev doing the kiss of death, and it just says, when strap card's activated, you'll come back from 2 sets down in the Grand Slam. Your opponent is immediately frozen in fear as they await the inevitable. And that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. I had it loaded, ready to post, and he just shat the bed so bad in that last set. Couldn't believe it. I took Medvedev to win that game. I thought he stood no chance after the first 2 sets, and then it seemed like he was most definitely on for the win. You just can't write it. It's like he lives for the shock value. You can't do nothing about that, unfortunately. But good shit from Cam Norrie. He looked decent last week over in Switzerland. Took a set off Djokovic in the semis. Ultimately didn't have enough to get that one done. Thought Gomez looked good against Kovacevic, but how much weight does that one hold? Although Cam Norrie's played a few games the past week or two, pretty much all month. Decent run in Geneva. 5 sets against Medvedev. Grueling match as well. He did look dead on his feet in them 3rd and 4th set. If you can go to war with Medvedev like that, you've got more than enough to beat Gomez. It's just, what is your fitness? What is the tank levels like of Cam Norrie? That it would be my only concern. If he's good to go, if he's fresh and fit, he definitely gets that one done, mark my words. And then we've got some decent odds for once. We've got El Shapo and Philip Misolic. Yeah, getting El Shapo around 1.6. He looked fairly decent against Pedro Martinez, did he not? There was a couple of us that were worried for Shapo going into that one, rightly so. I mean, his clay record's not that good. It's quite shit, to be honest, but 6-2 a bagel and 6-3. Say something about that. Philip Misolic is currently on a 4-game winning streak, obviously, coming through qualifying. Got it done. Got it done against Boo in the first round. It's sad. That's alright. He's won 9 of his last 10. Really good. But I'm not falling for this one again. Who remembers Philip Misolic and Flavio Cobolli earlier on in the year when he was playing out of his skin and Flavio Cobolli was bang out of form. And we all took him, we all trusted him because he was playing just like this. And what happened? He faced a tour-level opponent and he just shat his kecks, didn't he? Getting past Shevchenko is one thing. Getting past Boo is another. Coming past Shapo, even though he's not the best or most convincing on the clay, he is miles better. Miles better just as a tennis player than Filip Misolic. That's just a fact. 21-7 on the clay for Misolic, 2-4 for El Shapo. It's quite worrying. 32-12 for Misolic, overall 14-10 for the Canadian. Aye. It's just started off great, didn't the clay season's hammered his record. Denis Shapovalov, that is. He's only beaten Nishikori and then Pedro Martinez. Beat by Villius Garbus. Well, we remember that one, don't we? Alex de Minaur beat him as well. The Dora Palomero, he had to retire in that one. Maybe because it was his birthday, maybe not. And then Marcus Giron. He looked crap against Marcus Giron, he really did. I'd love to take him. Look, I want Shapo to win. No secret. I love El Shapo. We all know that. We're all Shapo fans over here. We want him to succeed. We want him to do well. That record's daunting. It's so daunting, and it really does put you off. And we've seen it. It's not like we go, oh, it's this or that. We've seen him match after match on the clay, and he just doesn't cut it. I know he's better. He beats Filip Misolic. I know he does. If this was on the hard court, he'd fucking wipe the floor with him. But unfortunately, there's a small part of me that can't trust him to do so with full conviction while we're on the clay. So I am going to have to stay off it. I wish you the best of luck if you're taking it. I really wish Shapo the best. I hope he wins it. Someone send Shapo some love for me. I hope he gets that one done. I'll definitely be cheering him on. I hope he gets deep into this tournament. We can do a watch along deeper into the tournament if Shapo is on it. I'll definitely do one for him. And then we've got two more. Jacob Fearnley, Hugo Humbert. Now, although this is very, very tight on paper, odds are split right down the middle. You pay your money and you take your choice. I thought Humbert looked decent against Christopher O'Connell in the first round. Decent enough, 7-5, 6-3 in a tiebreak. A little bit closer than maybe I would have liked, but who gives a shit? Straight set winner, wins a win, innit? Same for Jacob Fearnley. Looked fantastic against Stan Wawrinka. Tiebreak 6-3, 6-2. Happy days. Both of them put in a decent shift, put in decent work in the first round. Who wins this one? I think Hugo Humbert probably has the majority of factors in his side in this one. The home crowd. His hand seems to be better now as well. He weren't playing like that a couple of weeks ago, so it must definitely, whether it's 100% back to normal or not, I'm not too sure, but it seems to be a lot better. Like I say, he weren't playing like that against their Moutet, Muller, Madison, far from it. So it's good to see. I love a bit of Hugo Humbert, one of my favourite players. But I'm loving Jacob Fearnley, though. He's been great this year, man. I didn't expect him to be as good as what he's been. On the clay, like I say, it's very small sample size. We're dealing with 9-5 this year. And this is the only time he's ever been on the clay. So 9-5 overall for Jacob Fearnley. Decent little breakout year on the clay. I'll give him that. Got himself some decent wins. Hugo Humbert 2-4 on the clay. It's not really his strong suit. Although he's probably more experienced in slams in this French Open. So, it may come as a surprise, but for those that know, this is Hugo Humbert can be the best player in the world all year round. It'll come to the French Open, and I don't know what happens to him. First round exit. Well, yeah, this is since 2018. Have a look at this. Knocked out in qualifying. First round exit, first round exit, first round exit, first round exit, second round exit 2023, and a first round exit 2024. That just ain't good enough. And if history is anything to go off, that does not fill you full of confidence if you were to take him in this one. Jacob Fearnley seems to have a little bit more of an upside. He's never played in the French Open before. Nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. The fact that he got past Stan Wawrinka, even though he was favoured to do so, it's an achievement in itself. He's already gotten further than what Hugo Humbert ever done in the past, like 6 or 7 years. It's just, yeah, it's mad. It's a tough one. I love both of these. I like both of them. Really enjoy both of them. I always want the pair of them to win both of their games, but unfortunately there comes a time when you have to make a choice. You get pitted against one another, and I don't know who wins. Humbert, with him being in France, maybe that could just tip the scales in his favour a little bit more, but I don't know. If things don't start going his way, as I've just explained to you, we've seen time and time again, or if you're into the tennis and you've watched it for some years, you've seen it time and time again with Hugo Humbert. Just when you think he's going to do good, he should do good. It's his home slam. He's one of the better French players up there, like him and Artifice, best French players there, no doubt. But why can't he win a fucking game? Why can't he get out of this first round? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure why he's always faltered the first round. He is into the second now. Uncharted territory. How's he gonna react? You know, the more and more you fail at this hurdle, every time you come up to it, you think of the same thing, don't you? Oh my god, what if I lose this? What if I lose this? As opposed to, no, fuck this, I'm gonna go out and win. Couple of concerns surrounding the pair of them. You don't know what we're gonna get from Fearnley in this spot. I think it's a bit unfair to say we do know what we're going to get from Humbert. You know, just regarding previous results, he may turn up and he may just wipe the floor with Jacob Fearnley and shut me the fuck up. So, across that bridge, when it comes to it, I'll definitely be watching it. Over 3.5 sets, I think looks good. I think both of them are good enough to take a set. It could go to 5. I don't know, maybe looking at over. Don't think it's as easy as a 1, 2, 3 for either one. But we'll wrap this shit up with Gael Monfils and Draper. That's right, we saved the best for last as always. How much are we expecting from Monfils in this one, folks? How much? What a match, by the way. What a performance. Speaking about the Jong before, what a performance from this guy. I think the fact he's got that French crowd behind him makes it all the better when you're watching it. You know, when you want Monfils to win, you really want him to win. And when the entire of the stadium wants him to win too, it's quite the experience. It's a great watch. I think I speak for us all when I say we all have got a lot of respect. Just a lot of respect for Gael Monfils over here on this channel. I said it yesterday and I'll say it again, just the fact that we get to watch him perform and still put in games like this, you know, at this point in his career, is nothing short of magnificent. You have to tip your cap to that. But it's the same story all the time. He goes 5 sets. I mean, come on. That's the last thing you need before coming up against Jack Draper. And okay, you dropped that first set to Bellucci, which seemed a little bit needless, but that's what you call poking the beehive. Because Jack Draper just came back and just swatted him. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Nothing Bellucci could do. Sometimes you're better off just getting done in straight sets. He's just prolonging the inevitable, aren't you? 6-1, 6-4, 6-2. He came back and just pounded him. Monfils was all but done. Pretty much all but done against Hugo Delien. 6-4, 6-3. He dropped that first set. And then he just came back like the Undertaker. Then he 6-1 tiebreak. And then 6-1 Hugo Delien. Don't know what happened to him, but he was struggling. He fucked himself, didn't he? He was struggling, man. He got to a certain point and then he could not continue that much. But his pride got the better of him and he just wouldn't pull out. As we've covered a few times over the past few days, they're very reluctant to retire in these games, aren't they? And I wouldn't blame them. The amount of money that's on the line, I don't blame them. I'd be in there. I'd be like that fucking Black Knight from the Holy Grail with no legs and no arms. Just come on, just say it to me, I'm fine. Think Monfils stands a chance against Draper? Obviously he does. On the day these played each other, when was it? 2022, and he pulled out of that one. It kills me to say it, but I think, actually I don't know, I can't go back on and say that. I said Monfils may pull out of the first one. if he's struggling or whatnot, but I feel like we've covered that base. I just think Jack Draper's too much younger, harder, better, faster, stronger, all that stuff. I've got Jack Draper on an outright to get to the quarterfinals. If he gets past this guy, I've got a very strong feeling he's going to bump into João Fonseca in the third round. And I hope that's on Saturday. If that's on Saturday, let me know. Should we do a watch along for that, providing that's the matchup we get? Yes, no, not asked. Let me know in the comments. But that's going to do us, folks. Jack Draper gets it done against Monfils. And I'll be saying good night to you. Thought it was going to be a short one again at the start. I lied, obviously. It ended up being on 40 minutes. But who gives a fuck? Anyway, said what I needed to be said. Said what needed to be said, rather. Fuck me. Don't start tripping over me words now at the end of the video. But yeah, I'll be saying good night to you, folks. You take it easy. You take care of yourselves. You take care of one another. Most importantly. But yeah, like and subscribe. Couple night shifts for me, but that's alright. I only do 3 a week now. For the time being anyway. Suits me absolutely flying. But yeah, let me know what you're going for. Best bets, all that. Anything I'm going for will be in the pinned comments. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. But I will see you later, yeah? I'll be saying good day to you, good night, farewell. Have yourself a good one. Take it easy, yeah? Let's go get that cash. Enjoy the matches today, and I shall see you tomorrow.